Hello everybody and welcome back. So a couple weeks ago you watched part 1 of compound curve veneering. In that video I prepared the veneers for glue, and in this video we're actually going to glue it together. So I've recorded the gluing process and it is quite long, but if you listen to it I do discuss a possible problem in the vacuum bag, and I ran into that problem, and exactly what I described happened, and it led me to do some repairs on the fly. What I had to do is a couple cracks occurred in the edges of the veneer, and that was from overhanging just a little bit. The veneer bag pulled that curve down, and about a millimeter into the edge cracked the veneer. So I had to pull it apart, put some glue in there, tape it closed, and then put it back in the bag. It was a little stressful, but I got through it, and at the end I can't tell that it actually happened. So it all worked out. But that is something to pay attention to, acknowledge, and avoid in the future. So beyond the glue up process, we go into sanding the surfaces and planing the edges parallel. In that section, what I was doing was I was making my references off the center lines that I have on both edges of this to keep it parallel, and the center of the panel the lowest point in the curve. So that is compound curve veneering. Alright, so we're about to do a glue up. This will be the second compound curve veneered panel. The other one's just in the vacuum bag. I did this whole video and did it without a mic, so I'm redoing it. So I'm using plastic resin glue for this. That is the stuff. Already mixed it up. It was good. It's worked well in there. So if you haven't used this stuff, it is waterproof. It's pretty gross. It's a powder. But anyways, at this point I have both the inside surfaces of my veneers scraped to get a good glue surface. And from here, I can just make sure that I have my joint highlighted here in pencil. Make sure the triangles are going the same way. And side A is on the curve because it's the same side. So I'm going to do the flat side first. Just doing it on top of wax paper to keep it clean. Now the veneers overhang just a little bit, not much. They really shouldn't. I'm just worried about not having enough room to trim them off and square up the panels. So on a flat surface, you don't want the veneers to overhang in a vacuum bag, because it could cause just a mil or so inside the corner, inside the edge to lift. Make sure my center lines meet. Now for the curve side. Really want to make sure those edges get good coverage. Now, if you get some of those little lumps, pick them out because they're little lumps of powder. It's not going to stick to anything. Looks like it mixed up really well. I'm getting better at that every time I use this, which is a good sign. Okay. Probably spent longer on that than I should have or needed to, anyways. But it's okay because this glue has a long open time. That's one of the great things about this glue is, although it's gross to mix and use, all the stress of getting something done quickly, getting it done quickly, doesn't exist really. So takes some getting used to, though. I used to switch to stainless steel containers to mix it in because it's just that gross. I have silicone whisk. Because whatever touches, it's just ruined. You can't put anything down the drain. Much down the drain. And here. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed that video. This was definitely an exciting process to do. It's the first time I've ever attempted that. And of course it was stressful with the issue in the vacuum bag, because this is the graphic that I chose. I laid this out very carefully. You can check that video here. It was a lot of work, and failure with that veneer. I wouldn't have had a replacement part. I have replacement veneer, but it wouldn't have looked the same. So I'm really glad that worked out. That those challenges do happen and do occur in projects like these. But this is definitely a feature in a piece that I will do again. It was a lot of fun, and I'm sure next time it'll go quicker and a little bit more peacefully. But that was compound curve veneering, and in the next weeks we'll go through some other parts like doweling, and then we're going to get into the pull box. So that'll be a lot of fun. And at that point, these will be glued together and in place. Well, I'm sure we'll do a glue up video. So that'll likely be the next one.